Space exploration is the investigation of celestial bodies such as the Sun, the planets, and the Moon, as well as other cosmic phenomena such as the stars or galaxies. This exploration costs numerous amounts of money and requires a number of advanced technological developments.
Without comparing the relevance of space exploration to other topics, the high majority of the 35 people surveyed across all ages will agree that it is relevant. But when the question is asked whether the money being spent on this exploration could go elsewhere, space exploration will become less of a priority. The survey. A population of 35 males and females was surveyed, where 5 from each of 7 age groups were provided with questions relating to the exploration of space and its relevance to today's society. At the beginning of the survey, a basic introduction and definition of what space exploration is was provided, and the listing of age and occupation were required before the questions began. The initial question was asked, is space exploration relevant to today's society? A pie chart represents the following information in answers of yes or no. Through this graph, it is clear that the initial response to the question was that space is most definitely relevant. With 85.7% of people, or 30 out of 35, agreeing that space is relevant, this can be used as an initial source of support in regards to the hypothesis. To find out why this statement was supported or opposed, each participant was asked in terms of a short answer question to explain their previous response of yes or no. Through observing the raw data which was collected, an evaluation can be made. For those who agreed that space exploration is still relevant to today's society, recurring answers revolved around the potential advancements in technologies, the discovery of habitable planets, improvements in health, expansion of knowledge, the creation of jobs, and answers to questions surrounding the creation of life. On the other hand, found was a small percentage of 14.3%, or 5 out of 35 people who said that space is not relevant to today's society. To support their answer, responses claimed that we as humans should have higher priorities, which should focus on improving our planet before we leave it. The next question provided information around the economic side of this exploration. The question stated, to send 1 kilogram to space, it costs around $40,000. Knowing this, do you think that this money being spent could be used elsewhere? Explain where this money could go and why. Demonstrated through the pie graph are 2 percentages of people who either believe that money is being used efficiently or believe that this money could go elsewhere. It is clear through the public's opinion that this money could most definitely go elsewhere. For the 80%, or 28 out of 35 people who agreed that this money could go elsewhere, as an alternative, it was expanded upon that this large amount of money could go towards things like medical research, supporting developing countries, climate change, education, health, the environment, world hunger, aid, global warming, social issues, or improving renewable energy sources. In contrast, 20%, or 7 out of 35 people, believe this money is being spent efficiently. To finalize the survey, participants were asked, on a scale of 1 to 5, if we continue to explore space further, what do you believe are the chances of us succeeding in discovering or benefiting today's society? As shown in the bar graph, 88.6% of participants voted a 3 or above, proving that over 3/4 of the population surveyed trust that space exploration will have a positive outcome or success. Australian scientist Frank B. Zawolsky is the perfect example of an Australian scientist whose work provides much relevance to today's society. Frank B. Zawolsky is an Australian astronomer who currently lives in Woomera, South Australia. He is best known for his discovery of minor planets. Minor planets are astronomical objects which orbit the Sun. These planets can be things like dwarf planets or asteroids. In 1999, 3 years after asteroid 1996 JA1 nearly collided with the Earth, Frank Zawolsky used his astronomical observations to work out the estimated approach distance and date of a hazardous asteroid, which he has calculated to miss the Earth by only 38,000 kilometers in 2027. The Moon orbits 10 times further from the Earth, making this an extremely close call. In fact, the Earth's gravity could disturb the asteroid's path, conceivably leading to an impact in 2039. The flyby will take place on August 7, 2027. Zoltowski announced the trajectory of his newly discovered asteroid called 1999 AN10 in the beginning of April 1999 and has since been tracking the minor planet. Dr. Benny Pieser of Liverpool John Moores University in England said, "If it did strike, it would cause continental-wide devastation and alter the Earth's climate." It's works like these that detail enormous relevance to our world and our society. To conclude, it is evident that the data produced corresponds with the hypothesis that, without comparing the relevance of space exploration to other topics, the high majority of the 35 people surveyed across all ages will agree that it's relevant. But when the question is asked whether the money being spent on this exploration could go elsewhere, this will become less of a priority. High majorities and wide differences in numbers were communicated through the data, distinctly supporting the hypothesis. From the small general population of 35 males and females of all ages, their opinions have answered the question as a small portion of today's society. The question can be concluded with a simple answer that space exploration is relevant to the extent where you begin to compare its benefits and large costs to other topics which are believed by the high majority to require more relevance.